Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to our Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, who do rule and teach well. Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Barakatham. Peace, blessings, and salutations as always to you sincere Akim, Wa'akwath, listening and learning, keeping the faith and diligence of our Lord Yahushai, occupying in the prophecies and faith until the Lord will all fulfill and we are redeemed. So yeah, we definitely in that time, things are really ramping up and it's going down. Pursuant to Revelation 12:12, it says that the devil shall come unto you with great wrath, for he know that he hath but a short time. So knowing that the devil has a short time, he's going all out. He's digging deep into his bag of wickedness, and he's, to say the least, people about to feel the pain. They already feeling the pain, but it's about to be on another level. So what these devils, these top elite Edomites are doing, they're looking to block out the sun, and going way back. All right, we've been telling you that, hey, this is what they would do, and now they're doing it. Now they have the technology to actually do this with their cloud seeding, with their you'll see in this video, man, but this shows you that indeed the man of sin is being revealed in these last days, and it's Edom, the so-called white man. All right, he is everything that is wrong with the earth. He's the reason why the earth is all messed up. All right, because ultimately he's the ruler. The whole vibration, the whole frequency of the earth is all out of order, all out of course, and this devil just making it worse. So we're gonna go ahead and check out Patrick Humphrey, stop it at certain points, and get some scriptures as well, and Lord willing, this is edifying.
A secret plan has just been revealed, and it was kept hidden to, quote, avoid panic. That's what we are being told right now, that these experiments are happening right now in the environment, in the air, and in the water all around you. And researchers and scientists are keeping it secret because they are worried that the general public is going to, quote, panic if they find out what they are actually doing. So let's get into all this, guys. You can see here that this article just came out. All right, it says researchers quietly planned a test to dim the sunlight, and they wanted to, quote, avoid scaring the public. Hundreds of documents show researchers failed to notify officials in California about a test of technology to block the sun's rays while they planned a much larger sequel, right?
Now, you got to ask the question, why would these devils want to block the sunlight? Why would they want to stop the sunlight coming to the earth? And I remember doing the lesson some months ago, man, in which these Edomites showing you that they're the goddamn devil. That these Edomites, they was trying to create some type of it was, I don't want to say it's a cloud, but it was something like a cloud that would reflect, or some type of device that they would put in the clouds to deflect the sunlight back out into outer space. And their whole justification for this was, the whole G warming and the sea change agenda, that these greenhouse gases are getting trapped in the earth and it's making it hotter. Well, when you'll see in this video that what they're doing, okay, all them chemtrails, they spraying up in the air, like outside right now, I can look and see streaks out there, up, high up in the sky, man. That's these devils spraying them damn chemicals, and they come down on you. All right, so you wonder why you'll have brain fog, or you'll have certain ailments sometimes, or you'll just get sick out of nowhere. It's because we live in a toxic environment, all right, and it's being made toxic by the devil. Because what would possess an individual to say, I want to reflect the sunlight back out into outer space, or I want to block out the sun entirely? Only a devil would have a mindset like that. But see, this goes into their overall Depop agenda. in which when you reference back to the Georgia Guidestones, which they destroyed back in I think 2020, it pretty much said on there to maintain humanity at or below 500 million. So currently today we have about, well, you can't even say 8 billion no more, because a lot of people are getting knocked off from that serpent venom, so, but we'll say roughly 8 billion people, right? They're looking to knock off 7.5 billion people off the planet. And how they going to do that? They're going to do that through war, through manipulating the environment by bringing about more intense storms, okay, causing earthquakes, and yeah, Esau has the capability to do all these things, but who gave him the power? All right, who gave this devil the power to manipulate the weather? Well, it's Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay, and let's go to Psalm 17, because this is really the wrath of the Lord coming down upon the wicked of the earth, but he's using his sword, Esau Edom, to do it, because we know that the Lord operates through vessels on the earth. All right, Psalm 17 and 13, it says, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." Okay, Job 9:24 says, "The earth has been given into the hand of the wicked." And who rules over the earth? You can answer that one. Verse 14, "From men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, in whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes." Yeah, so the point is, man, all right, that the wicked is the sword of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So the Lord will use Esau as the whipping stick of judgment to judge people on the earth, okay? And furthermore, they are the let's get that, the vessels of wrath, okay? So they were created, to dispatch wrath. All right, Romans 9:22, it says, "What if Yahweh, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, which are the Edomites." Okay, because the Edomites, they were made to be destroyed. All right, because Jacob, the Israelites, we are the Most High's vessels of grace and mercy. Okay, but Esau, Edom, the so-called white people today, all right, they are the vessels of wrath, and it says fitted to destruction. So that means that they were tailor-made to be destroyed, which is why when you read in the book of Obadiah 1:18, it tells you that, there shall be none remaining of the house of Esau. All right, because they were tailor-made to be destroyed. They were created to be the wicked. All right, they were created to be the vessels of the Lord's wrath, to carry out his wrath upon the earth. And at the end, they're going to be destroyed. Verse 23, "And that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which are the Israelites, which he had afore prepared unto glory." All right, so yeah, these Edomites, they're the vessels of wrath, and this is why you see them doing what they're doing. All right, the likes of the W to the E to the F, the likes of Gates, you know what I'm saying? Even well, really all these devils are in on it. But let's continue.
This is insane. They're doing this essentially unregulated. They're not even telling the officials. The officials had to come in and shut it down. All right, check this out. It says a team of researchers in California drew notoriety last year with a experiment on a retired aircraft carrier that sought to test a machine for creating clouds. It says here, but behind the scenes, they were planning a much larger and potentially riskier study of saltwater spraying equipment that could eventually be used to dim the sun's rays, a multi-million-dollar project aimed at producing clouds over a stretch of ocean larger than Puerto Rico. All right, this is absolutely insane. And this is not only going to affect the U.S., it's affecting other countries as well, too. This is what they had planned, and they're already doing this, right? Other companies are doing this. Governments are doing this, including our own state governments, federal governments, and even other countries have their own China has an entire geoengineering program, and these countries could potentially influence the weather in the ocean and then influence the weather on land inside the United States or in other places, all right? And this is exactly what they were trying to do. This company was trying to do, that has millions of dollars and is billionaire backed. It says the details outlined in funding requests, emails, texts, and other records were obtained by Politico's E&E News raises new questions about a secretive billionaire-backed initiative that oversaw last year's brief solar geoengineering experiment on the San Francisco Bay.
So this is the secret counsel of the wicked now coming to light. And you notice how in the beginning of the video, they said they didn't want to disclose this to the public because there would be, or they didn't want people to panic. All right, but this is the secret counsel of the wicked. This is what they've always wanted to do, because ultimately they're against Yahweh Bashmel Shai, they're against nature, and they're against life itself. So we'll get Micah 2:1, right? Because these devils, they sit up all night in think tanks, all right? They bring together the world's most wickedest minds to devise these things. You know, the scriptures also say, who seeth us and who knoweth us? You know what I'm saying? They don't think that anyone sees what they're doing, but the Spirit of the Lord is revealing them in these last days. Woe to the oppressors, which are the Edomites. Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. So why are they doing this? Because it is in the power of their hand. They've been given the power from the Most High. All right. Verse 2, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. And this is what they're doing when they manipulate the weather, when they bring these, you know, once in a 1,000-year storms, like what happened out there in the mountains of North Carolina. There was another place that just happened out there in Texas, you know, with all those floods and stuff like that. That's these devils doing it, man. And the information already came out that these storms are being manipulated through cloud seeding, you know, to where they can intensify the storms, they can make it change direction and do all of that. But again, this is the sword of the Most High that we're dealing with. This is really the Lord's wrath. He's using Esau to carry it out, you know, in houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. And that's what these devils do. They oppress a man in his house. They oppress a man, even his heritage. And they don't give a damn. All right, because they are death, man. Anywhere these Edomites go, they bring nothing but death. And they just destroy everything. This is why, as it is written, they shall be chased out of the world. All right. When it's all said and done, these devils not going to have no name in the street. They're going to be insignificant in the kingdom of heaven.
Right, they were trying to create a 3,900 square mile cloud creation. It says the initial test was only meant to be a prequel. Even before it began, researchers were talking with donors and consultants about conducting a 3,900 square mile cloud creation test off the west coast of North America. This is insane. How are they allowed to do this? Chile and southern Central Africa, or southern Central Africa, according to more than 400 internal documents obtained by E&E News through open records request to the University of Washington. All right, it says, at such scales, meaningful changes in clouds will be readily detectable from space, said the 2013 research plan from the University Marine Cloud Brightening Program. All right, and this article just released today, all right, Sunday, July 27th. So this is a ongoing thing, right? This is just one company that they caught doing this, but it's happening all over the globe. It's government funded, it's billionaire funded, it's happening all over. Here's some of their documents from them. It says, an initial limited area field study would involve establishing multiple parallel sea salt aerosol plumes on multiple platforms traversing a region of the minimum size necessary to observe a significant change in cloud brightness. This is estimated to approximately be 100 kilometers times 100 kilometers. This experiment, the multiple plumes would disperse and create a single broad perturbed area downwind. It says at such scales, meaningful changes in clouds will be readily detectable from space using current satellite sensing technology alongside surface and aircraft observations to capture aerosol and low cloud properties. All right, so this is insane, and they were using tons of ships, even old aircraft carriers, to release these salts and these chemicals into the air to block out the sun. All right, imagine a blobular cloud 3,900 miles, square miles. That is absolutely insane, right? That is bigger than some states. It'd be like entire states just being blocked out from the single cloud pattern that they can create. Essentially, it's not actually clouds, but they're creating these artificial type clouds and releasing things like sulfur dioxide into the air as well too, to block out the sun. All right, so this is insane. And while this is going on too, all these experiments, we have another town that is flooding. We'll get into more details of that again in just a second, but it says here more than 60 evacuated from the Lancaster apartment complex due to flooding. No injuries reported, right? This is happening in Columbus, Ohio. Dozens of people are getting flooded out. It's every week, every few days, there's a new city or town that's experiencing these flash floodings where people are getting trapped, right? What is going on? Why is this happening? And we know that they are doing these cloud seeding experiments openly, right? These states, a lot of them have their own programs. Like Texas, they have an entire state program for this. Check this out for Columbus, Ohio.
Update on your 10 weather impact forecast in just a minute. But first, we are following breaking news this evening of an active water rescue underway right now at a Lancaster apartment complex. 10 TV's Kristen McFarland joins us live now. Kristen, you've been out there for a bit now. How much water have you seen around that building?
Colin, lots and lots of water, and multiple crews just wrapped up assisting here at this apartment complex. I want to show you just how high those floodwaters are. Take a look at these cars right there,
Columbus,
almost completely submerged in water. In the past hour, the dive team brought boats in to get people out of their apartments and send them to the Fairfield Medical Center for shelter. I've seen pets and young children carried out of homes. Officials tell me 60 to 70 people were brought out of homes. I caught up with people gathered around the scene about the terrifying moments they were told to evacuate.
And look, people don't understand. People don't understand the magnitude of the times that we're living through. This is the beginning of sorrows that our Lord Yahushua warned us of would come in these days. The time of Jeremiah 30:7, the time of Jacob's trouble. Also the time of Revelation 3:10, the hour of temptation. And people are out here just going about their daily lives until they get hit with something like this. Now, I'm pretty sure that those people out there in Columbus, Ohio, it was more than likely a forecast for rain, but they wasn't expecting that much rain. They wasn't expecting that much water. Because again, as Patrick Humphrey just said, pretty much each state has their own cloud seeding weather manipulation program that they use. You see? So these devils, listen, man, Esau ain't playing. Really, Yahweh Shemel Shai ain't playing. To hell with Esau, but the Lord ain't. Look, Yahweh Shemel Shai ain't playing, man. We're in a time of heavy, heavy judgment. All right. Look at what's going on. These devils are trying to block out the sun. Do you understand how huge is it? Come on, man. They're trying to block out the sun. If you block out the sun, you ain't gonna have no food. People gonna be all depressed, because the sun gives vitamin D, so it puts you in a better mood. That's why in wintertime people are generally more depressed, more sluggish. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not getting the energy from the sunlight, nutrients from the sun. So if when these devils block out the sun, all right, life as you know it is going to be complete hell. All right, let's just say it like that. So you see the flood going on out there in Columbus. I want to skip to around here. Let me see. Yeah, we can go right here. Because look, these devils are spraying the sky so heavy. And sometimes, you know, you walk outside and you notice there's like a haze that's in the air. Like it, you know, it'll be a normal day, you know, relatively, you know, very few clouds in the sky, but there's a haze though. All right, it's not a cloud, but it's like chemicals just sitting up in the air. The next thing you know, it just start raining, you know, or it just start getting dark and gloomy. Like, damn, like, you know, where the hell did all this come from? But that's these devils using their weather manipulation technology. Check this out.
If we've seen this weird stuff in the skies, let me get my phone here. All right, I've been taking pictures of all this stuff that's been in the skies because I've seen cloud seeding or stratospheric aerosol injection, solar radiation management, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I've been seeing these things going on. All right, and it's happening. Okay, look at these pictures here. Let me make it full screen so you guys can see a little better here. All right, look at this. Do you see? So these lines here, those are not natural lines, okay? These super straight lines do not exist in nature, and especially in cloud formations. And you can see the lines everywhere, and the lines are going into this big globule cloud here, okay? Which was essentially blocking out the sun. The sun was kind of like over here, I guess, and then the clouds were there, and you can even see how the clouds kind of lit up, blocking out the sun. And they were spraying, everything's backwards that I'm looking on here, so they were spraying over here, and then all that was kind of like turning into this weird, you know, like these really thin clouds here, and then it would eventually drift into the big formation over here and become a part of that. Right, this stuff's, it's happening all over the place, right? Those are not natural lines in clouds, right? I will argue that till the end, that that's what this is. You can see more lines. Look at all these lines here, okay? They're everywhere. And then they eventually turn into like this smog almost. And then it accumulates together and it blocks out the sun. You see this? Okay, so it's happening. And multiple states have banned these practices as well too. They have banned cloud seeding and any type of weather manipulation. But people even reporting like places like Florida where it's banned, that they're still seeing things happen potentially, right? So it's kind of hard to regulate. And Florida actually passed a law recently too to force airports and pilots to report any geoengineering, cloud seeding, or weather manipulation that they think they are seeing in the areas. All right, so even airports are being forced by state law to report geoengineering. So this is a good thing because there needs to be some type of enforcement, but then there needs to be a way to stop it too. It needs to be fines or even potentially more if the companies do not stop and listen to orders, right? And there needs.
See, the thing is, they're not gonna stop because all these elites that run these states, that run the federal government, they all on the same page. All right, all of them are taking orders from the same people at the top, the elite bankers, and this is what they want. They trying to dim the sunlight, which means basically that they trying to destroy life on Earth. Because check it out, like if you take away the sunlight, all the animals that's in the ocean, they're gonna die. Okay, the whole ecosystem, because the food that the sea creatures feed off of, which is like, you know, phytoplankton and, you know, certain algae and stuff like that, those creatures need nutrients from the sun to grow. All right, so if you take away the sunlight, you're gonna kill off the sea creatures. Of course, the land creatures are also gonna perish. The people, you know, all the insects. Listen, the whole earth is gonna suffer behind that, man. So this is part of that. Again, that Depop that Esau Edom is setting up on the earth. And by this point, if you cannot see who the devil is, I don't know what to tell you, man. Because this right here is diabolical work, and they only just getting started. You see? Let's get some scriptures. Let's go to Revelation 6. Revelation, the 6th chapter, and we'll start at verse 3. It says, and when he had opened the second seal, check out the head of the second seal, war. Okay, which we're in a time of war right now. And these devils, with all this cloud seeding and changing up the government with all these stable coins and laying people off jobs and manipulating the weather, all this entails war. All right, which Esau's blessing was the sword, okay, which also goes into warfare. All right, so it says, verse 3, and when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Now see, this red horse, right, this is talking about Esau eating the so-called white man, because when you go back to Genesis, right, it tells you that the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. And it says furthermore, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. All right, when you read in the Apocrypha in the book of First Maccabees, it tells you that when Alexander the Greek, okay, which the beginning of the Edomites' rule was with Alexander, when the Greeks came into power, it tells you that when Alexander came into power, that peace was taken from the earth. All right, so these devils are synonymous with death. All right, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. That's also another clue right there, because also when you read in Genesis, right, it tells you that Esau's blessing, that matter of fact, I don't even want to butcher it, by the sword, right? By the sword shalt thou live. Okay. For some reason, it's escaping me. Let me type this in. By the sword. Okay, yeah, Salakia. Genesis 27:40. I don't know why that was escaping me. Genesis 27:40. 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. So basically Esau would have rule over the whole of the earth, all right, and of the heavens. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So this is talking about Esau. Okay, this was Esau's consolation prize. This was his secondary blessing, okay, to have rule on the planet earth. But you see what it says. All right, Isaac gave Esau the blessing of the sword. He said, by the sword shalt thou live. So he would live by war, okay? Which when you go through these Edomites history, that's all they've ever known. Rape, robbery, murder, bloodshed, man, lies, deceit, okay? That's how they live. And their tongue is also a sword. You see, then when you go down, because it talks about the pale horse as well. Yeah, check this out. The fourth seal, death, which is this not what we going into in this video? Blocking out the sun, which is going to emphatically lead to mass death on the planet Earth. And who's forwarding it? Well, it's the pale horse, the fourth seal, death. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. You see that? So just like how Patrick Humphrey is going into in this video, how we going into now, right? The sun is crucial to life on earth. All right, that's a vital part of the ecosystem running how it's supposed to. If you take the sun out the equation, what's going to come of it? Death. Okay. And yeah, it says, and his name that sat on him was death, and hell followed him. Let's go to Habakkuk chapter 2. All right, because the scriptures are beautiful the way that it links up. Habakkuk 2 and verse 5 here. Check this out. Habakkuk 2 and verse 5. Yeah, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man. Speaking about Esau, the so-called white man. Neither keepeth at home. This man is everywhere. This man got a military base in everybody's country. Whoever don't agree with him, he can go to whatever nation and bomb the hell out of you. All right? Cut your resources off. Set up a coup d'etat in your nation and topple over your government. He's in everybody else's business except his own. That's Esau. Neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell. What did we just read in Revelation 6 chapter? Right? Let's go back. Okay? And his name that sat on him was death, and hell followed him. As we read here, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death. Wow, see that? He enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So this is speaking about Esau, Edom, all right, the so-called white man. Okay, he is as death. He is the pale horse. He also is the red horse. All right, because Esau got that pale flesh. All right, you can see his blood show forth through his skin. So the scriptures are written in a code pretty much, and you got to have the spirit with you, you know, and study as well to know, you know, who is talking about when and where. Okay, but the good thing about this is, because this devil, he's hastily moving to bring about that mass depop on the earth. Okay, and it tells you in 2nd Ezra, the 5th chapter, that what in the latter time that many shall be taken in a great number. You know, read in 2nd Ezra 16 as well. It talks about how the cities are going to be, you know, laid waste, and that, you know, it's going to be so depopulated that the earth is going to be void of men, that one shall desire to hear another's voice. And it's to talk about as well, like in the city, you know, it's going to be 10 people left. You know what I'm saying? So these times are upon us, man. All right. I Am Legend, the Book of Eli, the Purge. Listen, we're in that time. All right. No doubt about it. Psalms 37 and verse 7 says, rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass, which is Esau. All right. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil, for evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yeah, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. So, hey, we are to wait patiently on Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and we hey, look, we gotta continue to send curses upon this place, man. All right, because this place is beyond wicked. Look at what they doing. They spraying the air with all kind of, you know, all kind of chemicals. They poisoning the food. They poisoning the water. They taking the food away. We need deliverance out of this place, man. This is pure hell, as we just read in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. The Esau, he is as death. All this shit that he doing, all this is bringing death on the earth. You see that? So yeah, we got to get up out of here, man. All right, so you Aki and Wakwat out there, hey, you part of your prayer, man, should be the Esau be swiftly taken out of power, man, because, you know, as it says in Matthew 24, that, you know, if it were not for the sake of the elect, there should be no flesh saved. And you can just see the way that the earth is going by what this devil is doing. All right, everything, all the creation is suffering, man, is groaning. All right, but yeah, in a little while, the wicked shall not be. Okay, and that's a fitting judgment for this devil, man, because he's pretty much ran his course. You know what I'm saying? Esau has ran his course, and yeah, we got to get the hell out of here. You know, that's really the solution. Let's go Psalms 82. Psalms 82, and we'll start at the top. It says, a psalm of Asaph. Yahweh standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth among the gods. How long will ye judge unjustly, and accept the persons of the wicked? Selah. Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. These devils are literally trying to set, well, they already have done it. The ecosystem is all messed up. You know, the birds, I saw a report come out that the birds, like, their migration is all messed up because something with the magnetic magnetic frequency of the earth is thrown off because of what this devil is doing up there, spraying all this shit up in the atmosphere, man. The birds can't even navigate the earth properly because this devil is spraying the skies with all these goddamn chemicals. So the whole earth, the foundations of the earth are out of course. It says, I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High, but ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O Yahweh, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. So this is what we patiently waiting on, man, for these nations to be taken down. And the chief nation we pray to be taken down is Esau, Edom. Okay? Because with this devil in charge, man, nothing can have rest. All right? Even his own Edomite kind are complaining about this shit, man. This is insane. And then you look at this right here. This is an artificial cloud. That's not no organic cloud right there, man. That's the devil spraying shit up in the air and creating these artificial moisture traps. You know what I'm saying? Because really what it does is that when the sun comes down and it falls onto these clouds, the heat gets trapped in these clouds and it creates a heat dome over the earth. And that's why it can be like 86 degrees, but it feels like 96. It's like, damn, like, why is it so hot? It's because all this stuff they spraying up in the air, man. So these devils are using biological warfare on the people to knock people off. But again, understanding that it's the wrath of Yahweh Bashmi Shai coming down through the devil, through Esau, to judge the proud inhabitants of the earth. All right, so hey, we really gotta lock in, man, because times are deadly serious, and this, you know, these devils are ramping up the pain. All right, so we gotta tap more into the Lord, tap more into Yahweh Bashmi Yahushai, so that we can be given mercy in these times, man, because a whole lot of people very soon are gonna go back to the spirit world, all right, through one way or another. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying through the Rakah Kadash. Call halal Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakah Kadash. And until next time, Lord willing, shalom to the elect. Kom Yashala, Wa Babu Ball. Shalom.